what was primary school like and what was high school like being a South Sudanese girl?
Okay. It was okay when I was living here in Melbourne because we lived in Dandenong, and I think did prep and year one in Dandenong in a school where it was quite diverse.
Okay.
Literally a very diverse
A lot
primary
of
school.
Sudanese people?
South Sudanese.
So you came here, so you would have started, when were you, what year was it when you started?
Primary school.
Yeah, prep.
2006
Oh,
or
okay.
5.
Because a lot of South Sudanese people came, obviously, probably way earlier than 2004, but majority came down 2004.
That's true.
Yeah. So that's when everything became a bit more diverse, especially
sure.
down those areas, like Dandenong.
Dandenong.
Yeah.
There was quite a lot, and we had like not even just like Dinka and Nuer. We have Shilluk people.
Yeah.
We have like North Sudanese people, and even like a lot of different Asian communities.
Yeah.
And it felt like there was a balance.
Yeah.
And it was so nice. Even though I was young, I didn't really understand a lot of things, but it was nice to be exposed to that.
I was very lucky because when I came to Australia, I went to primary school in Reservoir for like 3 months.
Oh.
Yeah, very short. Then I went to another primary school in Preston. And that was for like a couple of months.
Yeah.
And then I finally moved to Richmond. Yeah.
Interesting.
So, yeah. How was your primary school and how was your high school experience?
I think so I moved after year one, like midway through, I think, back in 2007, I believe. Randomly on one day, my mom was like, we're going on a holiday. And we ended up in Swan Hill.
How was Swan Hill?
Oh, so hot. Like, almost, it wasn't a desert, I won't say that. It's like countryside, but it was so hot, especially in summer.
Yeah.
45-degree days, for sure.
Your mom would have loved it because
she loved it, of course, yeah. But like, I wish she let us know that we were gonna stay there permanently. But yeah, it was just so strange, like going from like a very diverse like school, and then being like the same experience of being like, me and my brother were like the first African students at our primary school, like in the history of that. And I think recently they celebrated their 100th year. So in that time, we were the only African students to arrive there and like become students.
How was that?
Ooh. It was a little hard, you know, being a young person exposed to a lot of like students who were kind of racist. I don't know, like I understand that a lot of children, they do things that, or like they kind of copy what their parents do. And
is that?
I feel like they kind of see how their parents interact with non-white people in their daily lives and kind of copy that and kind of still kind of interact with other people the same way. And I felt that a lot of the students there were racist because of that experience. It was very strange having...
Because there's young kids being racist and being curious. Like someone could be like, oh, mom, a black face.
Exactly.
Mom, someone black.
Yeah.
You know, that's like, okay, maybe they're just curious because they've probably seen the color black and they're trying to let the mom know that they've been paying attention with colors. But there's kids where it's like, oh, you know, I don't want to give an example, but you know, you would definitely give an example, but you could tell the difference.
There's a big difference. Like curiosity is fine. Kids are by nature curious. They want to know why the sky is blue and all of that. And it's okay, but I think it becomes dangerous when kids start to like spew a lot of hate. And I remember a big thing was like, oh my God, she has cuties. And they used to do this thing where they'll touch me and like run away and be like, you have the cuties now, and saying that like, they would ask me questions also about like if I've tried scrubbing my skin because I might just be dirty or something. And this was like in year 3, year 2. But then I remember in year 5 and year 6, there was a lot of incidents where I would not be invited to a lot of birthday parties. And I remember one of my friends gave out like invitations to our friendship group. And then I was like, oh, wait, where's mine? And she's like, sorry, but my parents don't want people like you over. And I remember feeling so like confused. I'm like, what do you mean people like me? She's like, they just don't want you. And I was so curious about that. And I didn't realize how impactful that was for me until like last year when I kind of reflected on a lot of the experiences I had in primary school. And I was thinking to myself, like a 12-year-old was able to tell me that I can't come to their birthday party because I was black. and that their parents didn't want me there, despite me being like an innocent child who just wanted to, you know, attend a birthday party. That was quite dangerous and harmful, and it has definitely impacted me even in my adulthood, where I become more kind of not scared but anxious being around non-black people because of fear that like I might experience something like that again. You know,
That sounds
being
like a traumatic experience.
Yeah, being like excluded from things just because I was black. So for
have you experienced anything like that in your adulthood?
Yeah, being even like in high school, like moving from Swan Hill to Bendigo for my final like VCA year, I remember not being invited to like a birthday party.
What year was this?
Year 11, I believe.
Yeah, because that's when you're like, you should know by now.
You should know by now.
In year 11, year 12, you're about to graduate, you're the seniors of the school.
Yeah.
So to still have that,
yeah,
you know, it's a bit.
And I like, cause I was still new, like I was still finding like my friendship group, and I was like, okay, fair enough. But then I remember finding like a group chat where they were like talking about me and using like very like strong racial slurs and referring to me as, you know, the N-word. And I remember thinking to myself, here we are again, like being excluded intentionally by people who are almost adults, who've been exposed to, because I wasn't the only black person in that school. They've been exposed to other like non-white people, but they still don't understand inclusion. And I feel like this is something that they've started to like teach younger kids in primary school, like even later on, like around 2014-ish, I think that became a big thing. Yeah, I think that for me, that was quite traumatic. And I think a lot of people don't understand the effects of like racial-based trauma in like educational like environments.
Yeah.
And for me, yeah, that really made my schooling experience terrible, to be honest.